All right. Now that we've talked Super Bowl, let's talk the biggest trade. Because I was taking a nap when I woke up to the fantastic news that Stafford was traded to the Rams for Jared Goff and 2 first-round picks. Okay, let's just get this out of the way. Why? Who made this trade? You got old Jared Goff. Okay, he has like a good season every like 2-3 years.
Denver,
Outside of that,
he's been in the league for like 4 or 5 years.
no. I'm talking Stafford.
Oh well, you said Jared Goff.
Oh, Stafford is just old Jared Goff.
Oh,
That's all he is. I don't. This was a poor trade. Look. Okay, Dirks, you take it away. I need a break before I have an aneurysm.
all right. Well, I'm really glad we didn't discuss this one at all beforehand. We haven't discussed anything we're talking about today ahead of time, other than we're gonna be talking about it. We didn't kind of air out what we're gonna want to cover. But it sounds like you and I could not be any further apart on this issue.
No.
I I want to say it was from ESPN. I'm not going to say that 100%, but it was like, one of those dumb things that everybody does right after a trade happens to you. Who won the trade? And somehow they were arguing that the Lions won the trade. I could not disagree more. I understand the perceived value of first round picks, both in the NFL and NBA type stuff, right? I get it. Here's the deal. This was a trade made between a team that has admitted they're going to rebuild and a team that wants to win a Super Bowl and was just there a couple of years ago. And one team clearly got better after this trade in the immediate aftermath, and one team clearly got worse. The Rams legitimately can contend for a Super Bowl now, and the Lions have Jared Goff. That's what it comes down to. I'm not hating on Jared Goff, but here's the deal. When it comes to playing the quarterback position, there is one of these two men that's on the screen if you're with us on YouTube that is clearly better than the other. Now, one has obviously played for several more years, so you could argue that they've just had more chances. If you want to make that argument, fine. In the opportunities they've had, Goff has pretty much not done much. And Stafford somehow won like 7 games a season with an organization that doesn't want to win. And now he's on an organization that wants to win. And he has the arm talent to actually get the ball to some of those weapons. I'm really excited because I'm kind of a closet Rams fan. I like Sean McVay. I dig it. And I wish they would have beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, 2 years ago or whatever it was now. If they had Matt Stafford in that game, I think they might win.
No. I don't think either team won this trade. I think it's a lose-lose. I think Stafford is a subpar quarterback. Like, he's
Get
not
out
good.
of
When was the
here.
last time he won? No. When was the last time he won a season?
What do you mean? Like, had a winning season?
Yeah. When was the last time the Detroit Lions had a winning season?
Probably 4 years ago. I think I was a freshman in college.
Okay. Outside of that, how many winning seasons has Stafford took to the Lions?
I think he's taken him to the playoffs 3 times
Okay.
in
Three
11
times.
years.
Okay. Goff has already taken the Rams to the playoffs 3 times.
Okay.
At least twice, I know for sure. Okay. My point being is I don't know if you trade for experience, if that's what I assume that's what is going for here, an experienced quarterback. I just think it's a lose-lose for both teams. I don't think Matthew Stafford makes the Rams any better than Jared Goff already had the Rams at.
I mean, you're very wrong,
And
but
I
that's okay.
and I don't think Jared Goff definitely doesn't make the Lions any better. The Lions just don't have anything. I mean, they probably do. If I break down and look at things and all that good jazz, they probably do have some stuff.
I'm gonna drop a knowledge bomb on you that shows, in my opinion, how slept on Matt Stafford is, and how just kind of incapable the Lions had to have been during his time there to not have more success. I don't think that's very indicative of Stafford's talent. I think that's more of what he had around him, right? I read this immediately in the aftermath of the trade. There are 2 quarterbacks in the history of the league to throw for more than 4,000 or 45,000 yards in a career and have less than 150 interceptions. One is Aaron Rodgers, and the other is Matt Stafford.
Because Matt Stafford gets injured every other year.
You don't throw for 45,000 yards in 11 seasons being hurt the whole time. That's completely false.
Look, I just think it's a poor trade. We'll see next season. I want to go back to this. I want to go back to this podcast, our first podcast, and I want to see how the Rams do next year. If the Rams come out swinging, I'll be like, holy fuck, Dierks was right.
Get this, right? Okay. I'm just going to throw this out there. You brought up that they've made the playoffs the same amount of times, even though that Stafford's played a lot more. Whatever, right? Here's another thing. During that time, the Rams have had the entire time a very capable running game. They had Gurley there for the first 3, maybe even the 4 seasons. Goff has been in LA, right? And now this year they had Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Stafford, it was something like he's averaged in his 11 years in Detroit, he had 10 games in which a running back ran for 100 yards. Less than 1 game a season where a running back produced 100 yards in a game. He had the whole load of the offense on him to win every game. He's going to be able to have a mad play action game in LA. And if you even think these two are comparable in terms of their arm talent, you're insane. One of these dudes can throw the football, and the other one is Jared Goff. The Rams offense, think about it this way. What was the limiting factor in the Lions offense? It wasn't the passing game. What was the limiting factor in the Rams offense these past full 5 years? It's the fact that they couldn't stretch the ball down the field because Goff is god-awful outside of 15 yards. Now, you give Matt Stafford, it's not like they had like crazy different weapons too, right? I mean, Stafford has had Calvin Johnson those first several years, right? So that's easily the best target that either of them has ever thrown to. But you figure these last few years, they've been relatively equal at the very least. Stafford has Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones, and Goff has Robert Woods. God, why can't I think of his name? Cooper Kupp. Like, it's not like Goff hasn't had someone to throw to. It's that he struggles more than Stafford at distributing the ball. I think the Rams won this by a long shot because they got an upgrade at like the one position that was limiting them offensively, and they had the best defense in the league last year.
Look, I'm not disagreeing with you. I just don't like
Oh,
Stafford. I think it's maybe because he was in the Lions.
yeah, 100%. It's because you're letting your Bears bias come out again. Maybe the Lions beat you guys a few too many times, and that hurt you. But I
Hey,
mean, Matt
look,
Stafford. Matt Stafford was a
let me
really
live
good
in my feelings.
quarterback on a bad team. I'll say it this way again. I feel like I'm really hating on Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff is worthy probably of being an NFL starting quarterback, but I'll leave it at this too. These guys were both number one overall picks, right? One was worthy of that spot, and the other is Jared Goff.
Oh man, that's poor Jared. All right,
Yeah,
well, we're on the topic of
I don't want to hate on him, right? But it, other than the fact that the Lions didn't come away with nothing, right? They have somebody who's at least gonna keep them in some games, I guess. And then they got a couple first round picks. That's never a bad thing. But I think if you're looking at this, and obviously the teams are in very different situations as I mentioned before, but if you're looking at this from just who is better today, or which franchise is in a better position today than they were, right before the trade, I think it's 100% the Rams, and you'd be incredibly hard pressed to convince me otherwise. Because now that they have an upgraded quarterback, I think they can win the Super Bowl.
look, agree to disagree.